Hello, how is everybody?
Happy early Halloween.
Yay. Welcome to Let's Not Talk Jaws.
Live. So what are we doing tonight?
Tonight we have a great guest. I'm so excited. Yeah. We have none other than the gorgeous, beautiful, talented Gigi Vorgan. And all of us Jaws fans know her as
Brooke.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's great. We have the music going. You're like our little Halloween display guys. Hello.
I like it. Very festive. Kenzie's here.
Kenzie.
Oh, Barnaby is here from England.
Ooh, from Brighton, England. Hi, Barbie.
Brighton, England. Don Gale's here. Nate's here. Donna is here.
Donna, Gigi. Somebody already said Gigi. She's waiting below, and now we want to formally introduce her. Gigi also, Michael, is a writer, and she's written books with her husband, who's a doctor. We're going to show those. Not only that, but she's also did a number of television shows. So, Rebel Highway. What else?
Is everybody on?
House.
Is everybody on?
It's amazing how many. Listen, it's amazing how many writers came out of the cast. I mean, Billy writes.
They're all talented. They're all talented.
Tom Dunlop writes. Keith Gordon writes. So, hi Donna, how are you?
Hi, everybody's here. They want to see Gigi. They want to see Brooke. They want to see Brooke. We're gonna bring her up. I'm gonna hide and bring up Brooke. Here she is, folks. Hey,
there she is. Dun dun dun.
There is Brooke.
Connor. That's Connor from Ireland. You've got fans on the European continent, and later on, I think we'll have a fan from Brazil that hops on. So you are internationally known.
Yes, she is.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Look at that photo right there, guys. You gotta love it. Michael, you're not the star.
I like Donna.
Hello.
She's never screamed at me.
Oh, really?
Hi, Keith.
Never experienced the It's something not to be missed.
So I was going to ask, how was the move? How was the move to the other coast?
You know, it was intense. I think I was operating on adrenaline for about 6 weeks, getting out of there, coming here. And now, of course, that adrenaline is gone, so I can't really move. But it was great. It was great. We have an amazing view, and it's stormy here, but
nice.
That's to be expected.
Already we have somebody keeps saying the lines. He's like, Brooke, I got a boat. Will you go with me? I love it. That's so cool.
Should I move?
So let's
you guys there. How's that? Is that better?
There you go. That's perfect. Well, let's get it started. How did you, or what inspired you to become an actress?
Well,
I think that was Jay's dog. Sorry, go ahead.
I think I was always kind of a ham. I was always in the school plays as a little tot. And in second grade, they came from CBS and asked 4 kids from my elementary school to be on Art Linkletter's Say the Darndest Things. I know most of you are too young to know that show.
I'm not.
But so in second grade, you know, we got picked up in a limo and we got taken to Television City in Hollywood. And it was really fun. And I got laughs.
Oh, do you remember what you said?
I do. Because my mom has told me so many times. He asked all 4 kids, Art Linkletter asked, if I came to your house, what would you make me for dinner? And other kids steak, eggs, and then I said Hungarian goulash because my mother's Hungarian and she makes Hungarian goulash. And everybody was, ooh. And he said, well, how do you make that? And the truth is, my mother spends about 7 hours making it. And at one point, she opens a can of tomato paste or something. So I said, you just open a couple cans. So yeah, she didn't love that, but I got laughs and I liked it. And it had toys and it was nice. So my dad was a songwriter and a electronics inventor, and his best friend was an agent, and I was like, I want to do it. I want to do this. So I did a little work as a kid, not too much. I was in Johnny Got His Gun, Dalton Trumbo directed that. He wrote and directed it, and it was his book. What? What was that?
That was my wife calling one of the dogs. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Anyway, that's how it started. I did a few things as a kid. It was fun. Voiceovers with Jack Benny, several voiceover commercials with Jack Benny, and then I was on one of his Christmas specials, playing Red Button's daughter.
Oh,
Cool.
Around 13, 14, I stopped working because at that point they can get 18-year-olds to play younger and not have to deal with the rules, the constraints of using kids on sets.
Yeah.
So that's how that started. I went to college. I was a journalism major. I've always enjoyed writing. And I was planning on being a journalist. I'm sorry. And then in the summer, before my sophomore year, my old agents, who I hadn't heard from in 5 years, called. I said, hi, want to go to Universal and read for the director and producer of Jaws 2? I was like, well, I guess so. It's not like it's summer, I can do that. And 2 days later, I was gone for 7 months, 6 or 7 months.
No, that's quick. That's a nice career. I mean, that's a random phone call.
It kind of waylaid me, and I remembered how fun it was and how much I enjoyed it. And to be honest, that whole Jaws 2 experience, I think, was very unique. I mean, I didn't know at the time. I thought, okay, this is how every movie is, but it's not. There was a bonding of this cast that I've never had in any other experience, any other work experience. And we're all still friends.
I know. Yeah. I
love that. Most of us. I mean,
well, that's something that everyone that's been on that Gary Springer said, and David Elliott and Billy Van Zandt, they've all said the same things. And I've noted that in the book that you guys are just, I've worked on films in the past, and usually you have kind of a relationship when you're working together, and then everybody goes their own separate ways. And you guys, take it upon yourselves. You make sure if someone's in the same town, you get together, you have dinner. It's just a camaraderie that I've never seen in Hollywood.
You know what? It is rare. I mean, to have 40-year friendships is rare anyway, but to have so many from one, it was like camp or like Club Med for teenagers or something. You're all away from home and hanging out and going through a communal experience, and it was very bonding. Oh, I love that picture you're showing.
Yeah, I love it too. Look at this one. I love that. It's even better. It's so cute. I keep on playing it over and over again so people can see that one. Look at that one. That was a great one.
Oh, Kramer and Springer.
Yes.
Jeffrey and Gary.
Yeah.
I call them Kramer and Springer.
Springer. I love it.
Yeah. So, that's gold. When you're friends, that's very true. It's very rare to have friends that long.
We have somebody that wants to ask a question already. Janet.
Okay.
Go ahead, Janet.
What would you like to ask?
I can't hear.
She'll
come back. She'll pop it up.
Look at her look at her picture. Look how cute. She's adorable. She's adorable still. Look at
True.
her.
Oy. Oh, that's from Caveman.
Yeah. Mike, the one that
Ringo
the picture,
Starr.
tell him, Gigi, Mike, the picture that you used to promote her, she's like, that's the least one I like the most. I'm like,
No, it's the
oh,
one
shit.
what's that?
Oh.
I don't.
I like it.
Whatever. If you like it, that's what counts. That's what my mother-in-law used to say to me about anything. As long as you like it, dear, that's what counts.
That's
Hey,
what we say.
Jan-
Gigi, you're like,
Yeah.
what abs? I say,
Janet
what
got a
abs?
question?
Yeah, Janet, go ahead and put your question in the comments, and we can put it up on the screen for Gigi.
Yes.
And then
So
Barnaby also type yours.
Yeah, there she is. Look how beautiful she is up close. Look at this gorgeous woman. Gigi.
Brooke does grandma.
Oh, so
Stop it. Stop.
so while we're waiting for the question, do you have any fun memories or bad memories of being on the set?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Let me just think of some PG ones. Just kidding.
We want to hear the details.
You know, the first month that we got there, nobody knew any. Well, I guess there was a first cast that had worked for a few weeks with John Hancock. I wasn't in that cast, so they already knew each other. But when I got there, we started working. The first whole month was sailing lessons, no filming, sailing lessons and knot tying lessons. And there were pop quizzes. Anyone on the crew was able to stop you anywhere and say, tie me a something knot. I don't even remember what all the knots
Time
were
in
called.
sheep shank.
Sheep shank, yeah.
We'll find as sailing knots, and you had to. But it was very bonding. We all just hung out all day and played and sailed and changed boats and had fun.
It was fun.
Okay.
Janet wants to know, what was the scariest thing that happened on the set?
What was the most curious thing that happened on the set?
Scariest.
Curious? Wait, curious?
Scariest.
Scariest. Oh, okay. Well, for me, thank you, Janet. For me, there is a scene in the movie where I think we're on Cable Junction. It's right towards the end, and the shark has attacked us, and our boats have crashed, and we somehow get to this. I think it's the island. Anyway. I'm about to get pushed into the water, by the sharks, going to knock us into the water, and we're supposed to be extremely scared. And I played that fear very realistically because the water was freezing. So I knew I was going to go in the water.
Oh my
So for me, that was the scariest, going into that cold water. But there are also sharks circling our catamaran.
I heard about that. Didn't Gary say that? Gary was like, and then he was saying there was sharks circling you guys when you were.
Oh, there were, because I remember we were out on the catamaran or out in our boats. There were about 6 picture boats, and it would take a long time to set up shots. I mean, you'd set up the shark pulling boat, and you'd have the camera boat, and you have our boats. And as soon as the shot got set, which could take 90 minutes or 2 hours, the wind could change. Mm-hmm. And you have to set it up again. So to keep us happy and from freezing, we're a bunch of teenagers, they would send out bottles of Crevassier.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Here we are, a bunch of 18-year-olds or whatever.
Oh my God.
Getting a little bit schnockered on Crevassier while we're waiting for the shots to get set up.
But I will say in 1977, the drinking age in Florida was 18. So
was it 18?
Well, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. You were safe. You weren't doing anything illegal.
I hate the idea that I would have ever broken the law. That scares me.
Someone wants to know, was Roy Scheider friendly towards you?
He was relatively. I mean, he didn't really socialize with the cast. I put it that way. But yeah, he was always nice to me and never said anything, angry or mean. but I wouldn't say we got to know each other.
Mostly
I think
everybody.
some people in the cast were friendly. He was friends with, but yeah, we didn't get too close.
I think
And I know there was some friction with him and other people.
Yeah, there was a lot. For everybody that's come on so far, they're like, he was okay. He didn't want to do the movie. He didn't want to do the movie.
I think he'd already done a shark movie.
Yeah.
Right.
And he went on to do some big, I think All That Jazz, or
Yeah.
he did
That's our favorite.
big
Yeah.
pictures.
Yeah.
And then he had to go back and work with a fish again.
Yeah.
And I don't think he loved that.
He was not happy. He was not happy.
Well, Gigi, I don't know if you know the story. Roy was originally cast in the Michael De Niro role, or Robert De Niro role, as Michael in the Deer Hunter.
I heard that.
And they had switched up the script. Originally, it was De Niro's character that stayed behind, not Christopher Walken's. And when they changed the script, Roy quit because he wanted that to play that very dramatic stuff. Chris Walken role
wasn't good enough.
Yeah, apparently not. So he owed Universal 2 pictures on his contract. So they told him, if you do Jaws 2, we'll count it. Yeah.
For Jaws 2, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that now.
Yeah. But like I said, all the kids that I've talked to, and even the ones that from the first cast, said he was very, very friendly to them. It was the adult actors, Jeff Kramer, Murray Hamilton, that really had trouble with him because
I don't know how adult really Jeff Kramer was.
Well, at the older, a young adult. He was a young adult, but he and Murray would show up to the set, and Roy had rewritten the script so that they didn't.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they didn't have to be there. And
wow, he'd written them out.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just Roy scene.
Yeah. Jeff told me that they had to hire somebody to put cones around Roy's Mercedes so nobody would piss on it. So it was just like.
I don't remember it being that tense. But if so.
What did they pay that guy an hour? How much do you think?
I don't know. Minimum wage is like $1.95 an hour back then. So I don't know what he got.
Gigi, it kills me. It's like he comes up with. I swear it never ends. I never stop laughing. It's unbelievable. Oh my God. What is it? Somebody said something about Gigi. Gigi that think Brooke went with Timmy, but maybe ended up with Doug.
Does Gigi think Brooke went with Timmy, but maybe ended up with Dougie?
Yeah.
I had a thing for Timmy, but I couldn't let it show.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice answer. That's so cool. I mean, we have actually, you've been in quite some pictures too, as well. You've been in Caveman and Summer School and Red Heat and Hardcore. And also you were in Fame. Remember Fame, the TV series? She was in that.
I died in that. I had a little run of dying and everything for a little while.
Somebody said, would you come back for a Jaws reboot? I don't know. She might. Who knows?
I don't know. We've had a couple Jaws reunions.
Yes, very true.
Those are not filmed.
Very true. Let's see. Barnaby wants to know, how on earth do we get Gigi's autograph?
Yeah.
Just ask. You
just ask me.
Just ask.
Barnaby, Gigi's on Facebook as Gigi Vorgan Small. I'm sure if you send her a message, and she'll be happy to sign something for you.
Not a problem. I'm just happy that somebody remembers this movie.
Yeah, there's a whole huge 9,000 people on a Jaws 2 site that are like, they're like, well, Michael read the book. Look, Victor Mirabella. He's probably the biggest Jaws 2 fan besides Michael. Victor, right here. He's from Canada, and he absolutely look at it. Gigi. He's the one that really always loves Jaws 2. Like
I'll tell you, Victor. I have to say, a couple of the 4 of the cast members remain my closest friends in the world.
Oh.
So some of my, very close friends. And I mean, really, we go back now, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I mean, I have a friend who I think wrote in, is cueing me. We've been friends since elementary school. My friend Janet, she's on. But these friends from Jaws 2, they're really, it's deep. Gary Springer and John and Kramer and Tom Dunlap.
Tom Dunlap.
Yeah, they're like, it's almost like they're real life friends, like Jen Aniston and all you guys are the same way with that movie.
They really are. I mean, are they friends from Friends?
Yeah, they're friends from Friends. I only watched it. I watched that show a little bit, but I know that the two of them, all of them are really good friends. They've had a bond like you guys. Everybody, Gary Springer, and everybody has come on. He's a freaking ride. He told us a story about telling Ernest Borgnine to go screw himself. Did he tell you?
Oh my God! I checked that episode out a little, but I didn't.
He's so funny.
Watch the whole one.
He's like, he goes, "Hey, Borgnine."
That was in the movie. That was his
in the movie. Yeah.
That's
his part in the movie.
That's nice, Victor. I'm sure.
Yeah, we used to run together, Gary and I, when we were both single. We were just tight as tight could be. We'd get invited to things together.
That's James Scott. James Scott wants to know, did you take any souvenirs from the set?
I took those really great costumes.
What?
Outfits. No,
not at all.
We took a lot of photos,
Yeah.
there were a lot of pictures, and I've shared a bunch of what I could find with you. And can I tell some stories about the shark? It hit itself and its teeth fell out. I don't really recall that. But the Jaws 2. Oh, am I supposed to be reading these, or you want to read the questions? And I'll just.
Either way, that's fine.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
You go right ahead. You pick out what you like, okay. And
did you guys ever get seasick?
I don't remember getting seasick for some reason. I don't remember anybody getting seasick. We were on small boats, although people get seasick on any kind of boat. I don't remember anyone really having seasick. I will.
That's Barnaby. Sure. No, that's Jamie. Jamie Saunders. He's a big Jaws 2 fan as well. So
Jamie Saunders, yeah.
Hey.
One of my favorites.
Hey, Jamie.
Let's see.
I
got one here for David Latch. I'm leaning down and I'm reading my iPad because I can't see the comments on the screen. Can you tell some stories about the shark? Did you have not working badly?
Oh my God. I told you it took 2 hours to set up a shot sometimes. And then the shark would just not work. It's like it's supposed to come up and bite something. The mouth didn't open. Or, I would say people don't love ocean movies are very difficult, I understand. But ocean movies with mechanical sharks and a bunch of sailboats and a bunch of actors, and I'd say it was, it was difficult, but I wouldn't blame the shark.
Okay. I want to have a question about, what was this one say? Most memorable moment of filming? And what did you think of the first film? Good question.
Yeah, that is a good question.
Well, to be honest, I didn't see the first film before I was on the set of the second film because I didn't like scary movies.
She's too busy being working in other stuff too.
Yeah.
Being an actress. And what does this one say? Do you think a shark should have ate more kids?
Well, I'm sure somebody else you've interviewed has mentioned this, but they shot the movie. Carl Gottlieb was the writer, and he was on the set, and he was writing pages every day, and they shot some of the kids dying and not dying For instance,
Okay.
Billy Van Sant.
Right.
Yeah.
We've seen Billy.
I think they shot him dying a horrifying death,
And
and
that's
maybe dying a less horrifying death, and then not dying at all.
yeah.
And I
That's
think
it.
they did that with several characters because they wanted a PG, but they wanted to get in as many deaths and as much blood as they could get away with. So I think they didn't get that much blood in, if I recall.
Not a lot.
But they
More.
wanted that PG. I think one more bloody death, and it could have been R.
We always talk about all on the pages. They always like give Donna a hard time of her screaming, but they don't realize because he told us that they shot that scene when he was supposed to be eaten. So obviously you heard that screaming and screaming and screaming and screaming. And but still
It was close by.
scream.
Yeah. They give you earplugs. You have earplugs for that?
Still in your ears.
What?
I want to.
What else?
Say, I want to. Oh, here we go. You were. I think, Jay. Do you have the?
Yeah, I
you
do.
can bring up what I sent, and we'll talk while we're. Oh, already got it. I love it.
Yeah.
This is.
How did you get that graphic? Wow.
Look at
that. We got more than that.
Well, a little bit right after Jaws, I got some other jobs. It was really fun. I worked with Paul Schrader. I worked with some interesting directors. And then I got a TV series. I got hired to do, I think it was a pilot and maybe 8 more episodes, something like that. It was a short order or something they called it. And they were just waiting to cast one more gal. And I was in Hollywood, LA. All the cast members were. And then somehow I heard, they found a girl in New York. They're bringing her out. So we had a cast meeting, and it was Cindy Grover, who was in Jaws too. And so
That's cool.
That was fun.
Yeah. So we pulled this clip up there. What do you think of that?
Let's see it.
Yeah.
A clip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that show since it was on, so let's see it.
I think these are the opening credits that we're running here.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, the opening logo.
Yeah.
Are you running it?
Yeah. Oh, you're not seeing the clip and hearing the music?
I'm not. Do I have to click No, I don't. I'm not clicking.
Okay. Well, if you go back on the page and watch the replay, we ran the opening credits of the show, the opening montage with Lee McCluskey, who was the guy in the 70s.
He was
and
the kid.
And that was
that show that I remember. Gary Epps.
Good
actor. Stephanie
Kramer with and she spelled her name like PF. It was so weird. Stephanie, like Stephanie. And then
sweet.
Cindy Grover's dad was in it too.
Right. I think he played her father, which is crazy.
Great casting. Great casting.
So that was fun, but short-lived. And after that, the producer writer of that, David Jacobs, had created Dallas previous to Married the First Year, and afterwards Knots Landing. So I did a couple of seasons on Knots Landing, which was fun, interesting, different kind of cast dynamics.
I love that show. That was like one of my favorite shows. I love that show.
I used to get calls from my New York friends before it aired in LA, and they're just like, "Okay, what happens next week?"
Donna Mills. Yeah. I used to love that show. My God, that was a great show. And then I still looked relentlessly for that Fame episode, and I'm like, "Are you serious?" I vaguely remember it because I used to be up watching Fame.
It was about anorexia. The blonde girl, the short blonde hair girl. I'm sorry, I don't remember people's names because I write memory books.
It's called Reflections. It's called Reflections, and I couldn't get it up because you have to pay for the whole series now. So they have you.
Oh, really?
You're in a series.
Not worth it.
There was like,
I'll tell you about it.
Clip.
So she was very stressed and she stopped eating, and their parents were very worried, and they put her in the hospital, and that's where she met me, who was a budding anorexic myself at the time, I mean, in the show. And then I die, and that scares her after we've hung out for the episode.
So lesson learned.
Somebody gave you a really nice compliment here. Your facial expressions, just as the shark busted through the scissor cat and pushed you all the way in the water, was very dramatic and real.
That's the scene I was talking about, where that was true fear on my face.
Thank you for sharing that part of the story. That was nice. Yeah.
Sure, because I remember that part. And I had a wetsuit under my clothes, and it didn't matter. It was
I want to make sure. Cold. Hopefully I got all these comments on here. There's like so many of them. Since your next stop after
I have not been to Ireland as much as, I'm sorry, I'm answering the question on the screen.
That's fine.
That's fine. That's what we wanted to do.
I've always wanted to go. You know, Gary Springer goes off. He went a lot. It's so beautiful there, I hear, and I just haven't had the opportunity, but I plan to as soon as COVID goes away.
Well, Connor's in Ireland, so give him a call when you get there.
Okay.
Gary goes everywhere. Gary's in Egypt right now. He's always traveling.
We had dinner the other night before he left. Okay. So
I want to touch real quick on Hardcore. You had the scene with Peter Boyle. What was it like, especially with George C. Scott? Was he as in who we found out when we talked to Murray Hamilton's son? George C. Scott was like Murray Hamilton's best friend. But really? Was he imposing to work with?
Well, imposing. He's a very large, tall, and he has a strong presence. He does not do rehearsals. He has to stand and do the rehearsals and the lighting and all that stuff. When they're all ready to shoot and all the actors are placed and everything's ready and lit, he comes out of his dressing room. He does one take.
Wow.
That's it. And it's perfect, of course.
But George C. Scott, yeah.
But it was fascinating to see.
That's awesome.
Peter Boyle, on the other hand, was a friend who I had met through, actually, Carl Gottlieb and his wife, Allison, I got to be good friends with on the set, and came home and spent time with them. And they were good friends with Peter Boyle, so I got to know him, and then had a couple different films with him, which was fun.
Okay.
Oh.
Let's see.
Just trying to see. Oh, Colin says, make sure you say hi when you drop over, but bring your umbrella.
Oh my God, I'm on the East Coast right now. It's pouring. Could it be worse than this?
Okay, we brought up Caveman. Jay, do you have that? I love this picture. I have never seen this picture from the Jaws 2 set.
Yeah, that's what and actually look at the question below it that Keith just asked. So
I adore him. I adored him then, and I still adore him. He was a lot of fun. He's a very good director, and he's precise. He doesn't waste a lot of time. I guess you get that he did a lot of television as well.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows when he has something, and he goes on, and he doesn't just take another 10 takes for safety. But he was so funny and fun and very smart, and recommended some of the best books that I've ever read.
Nice.
He lives in England now, so if you're going to Ireland, just hop across the water and go visit him too.
We're going to talk about Caveman, but I just saw this question, and I actually want to know about this too. The shark attacking the helicopter. What was that like? I'm really curious to hear that story.
Well, it was a stretch of your belief system.
To see it happen though, kind of cool.
But it was fun. It was a stunt, and it was really well done. I mean, we had great stuntmen on this movie, and the stunt coordinator's name
was it Ted?
Yes.
Was it Ted Grossman? Okay.
Fantastic. And interestingly, I just ran into him in LA a few months ago.
Gigi, you look more beautiful now, 42 years after Jaws 2. What's your secret?
Oh my God, is it 42?
Is it 42?
Oh, it's 35 years. What's my secret? I don't know. Clean living.
There you go.
Yeah.
Victor never asked a woman her age.
I was going to say, well, you know what, though? I shouldn't take the 40 hours. I'm like, 45. I'm like, oh, my God, myself, Lord.
42,
Also,
wow.
We wanted to talk about this, actually, this and working with Ringo Starr. And
that was so much fun. That movie was fun.
Oh, my God.
Carl Gottlieb, coincidentally, who we wrote and directed.
Yeah, well, you know what's so funny? Like Michael and I were going over after we talked to you, and then we were listening to it, and Michael's like, I'm
going da-da-da, da-da-da.
As you guys see, oh my God, guys.
So you knew the movie.
Yeah, we know that music, you know? And Michael's like, I'm like, Michael, listening? He goes, yeah. I'm like, Michael, you listen?
There's a lot of fans of that movie. There's like a
whole
thing of that movie.
Big time, big time.
So let's see. I have stories, but
wow.
I have caveman stories. But this is the Jaws 2 show.
Yeah,
well, this is everything. This is a Gigi show.
This is the Gigi show. It's all about Gigi.
I'll tell you one story about Richard, Ringo Starr, who you call Richard if you know him. I was on the set. We weren't, he's a Beatle. He was closer to being a Beatle back then than now.
Yeah.
So he just had been so famous that you can't trust anyone, right? So he was very guarded. My boyfriend at the time was in a rock band and had toured in Japan and brought home something we didn't have here yet, which was a Walkman.
Oh my God.
Any of you remember the first arrival of the Walkman?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you put those headphones on and you had a symphony orchestra in your head.
Yep. They were yellow.
So I had my Walkman, of course. And Richard comes up and he says, "What is that?" I said, "It's a Walkman." And he tries it and he goes, "I want this. I want this."
Oh,
I said, "You can get one." "Oh my God, I'm sure you have people in Japan." He's like, "No, I want this."
Oh, you want yours? Oh my God, no, he didn't. He said that.
And I'm like, "No way."
He wanted to take your Walkman. Oh my God.
This is not your Walkman. And he goes, "But I want it." I said, "But you can't have it." After that, we became good friends.
Oh my God.
How could you say no to that face? Oh.
I had to say no. It was you love your walk. The first Walkman, I had a relationship with your Walkman.
Yellow. It was yellow. Remember, it was only one color, yellow. It had. It was yellow, and everybody wanted one, and they were so expensive. And I was like,
really? I think that mine was black, actually, but I don't remember. Maybe it was yellow.
Well, in the States, they're probably yellow in the States and black in Japan. Yeah. Now, in the film, when everybody discovers music, you play the bongos. Did Ringo give you any advice?
No, but that was a fun scene to shoot. And then we went. Lalo Schifrin composed the music and was the conductor of the orchestra and everything. And we all went into the studio, a big, music studio, film scoring studio, and worked with Lalo Schifrin. Because we were singing and we were playing, and that was quite an experience. I forgot about that. That was fun because he was major.
Well, here it is. We're going to play it. Now, you might not hear the audio, but the friends at home will. So we're going to let that play. That
You know,
was
I have
awesome.
another.
You should have leaned over and warned.
What?
We say you should have leaned over and warned Dennis Quaid to stay away from Jaws 3.
No.
I
Thank
think
God
he
he was
has
in
that on
that.
his resume.
Dennis
I would
Quaid.
guess he knocked that one off a few years ago.
Oh wait, somebody
Oh,
says something.
here's Ringo. Oh, I'm seeing this question on the screen.
Yeah, that's what you want to see.
I had a pretty hairy accident a few years after Jaws. I was hit by a drunk driver in Laurel Canyon in LA.
I didn't know that.
And I was pretty laid up. And I spent a little time in the hospital. I broke my leg and my this and that. And it was pretty much right after Caveman. So, or a little ways time after. And I was kind of laid up. I couldn't move much at first because it was hairy. But I made a miraculous recovery, by the way. Don't worry. I worked 6 months later. So, not good.
Thank God.
Yeah, but it was hairy. But anyway, it was a very small hospital. It was called Riverside Hospital. And it was small. And there was a staff. Anyway, Richard came with Barbara Bach, who they met on the movie.
Yeah, she was beautiful.
And I have stories about that, but we'll talk later.
She's beautiful, yeah.
Anyway, Richard came to see me in the hospital. The hospital went nuts. Every single nurse, orderly, doctor, delivery person had to come into my room and do something for me.
Because they were all Caveman fans.
Well, they were all Ringo Starr fans. I mean, and Caveman fans. Obviously, it was to see me. It was to see me because was so special. And, so that was kind of fun.
Did a good delivery.
I think. What's the next question?
Oh, this kind of a cute one right here. It says, my little brother and I have a special tradition every summer when we have Jaws 2 night, and we end up quoting almost the whole movie while watching it. There's another
Anybody
one.
want to play charades?
There you go.
Thank you for saying that. Oh.
Let's see. Would the cast visit Toronto Fan Expo? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well,
cast loves to travel.
Come on, Mike.
I love Toronto.
Well, there's SharkCon got postponed this year for next year, and I know Ann and Donna and Mark Gilpin were supposed to do it, but I gave the promoter everyone's contact email address in case you want to get other people. So that would be fun. SharkCon's fun.
Is it? I've not done one.
Let's see. Someone wants to know if I ever went cage diving with great whites. Hell no. Hell no.
Hell no.
Not in a million years. Not in a million years.
Who's asking these questions? I can't see their name, but they're funny as hell.
That's Jerry Stack asked that.
Wait,
what's one for you, Gigi? How is the Jaws 2? Like she was talking about this before. There's so many comments here. I want to make sure I got it. Jaws cast 2 reunions. Do you go to any of the SharkCons at all, or any of the?
I went to 2 shows like that. One was in New Jersey, and it was called. Thank you. I forget what that one's called. I'm so sorry.
Was it Chiller?
Yes.
Chiller usually does big things like that. Okay.
Yeah, and then there was also one in Los Angeles, down by the airport, that I attended, and that's it.
And then you did the book signing for me, which I'm most appreciative of. A lot of you got together for the book signing at our delicacies. That was great. That was so much fun. And I finally got my hug. It took me 37 years, but I finally got my hug.
That's a picture of me as a kid actor.
As a young girl, a young actress. Look at that. How cute is that, guys?
So did you date Brad Pitt?
For a short while.
Okay.
I was trying to avoid it. I didn't know if it was appropriate to ask you that, and I didn't want to if you were uncomfortable with it. So she did ask that.
not uncomfortable, but
we're like 60 Minutes. We ask the hard questions.
We want to make sure they're okay with it because we don't want to ask them, you know.
I said you asked me on the show live if it was okay to ask me.
Oh, that's true.
Just kidding. It's fine. And yes.
Okay. Quick question about summer school. The character Chainsaw has a Jaws 2 poster on his wall in his room. I didn't know if that was kind of a little homage to you or.
God, you're gonna hate me for this, but I don't have strong memories of that particular movie. I had fun. I remember having fun, and there were a couple of gals that I hung out with that were hilarious. Oh yeah, see that's the comic book that came out.
Yeah, that's cool. I pulled that up. Yeah,
I saved that. I
that's
have that.
awesome. That's awesome. That is awesome, Gigi. Wow.
Okay.
What
is completely isolating? How real and powerful was the Jaws 2 shark as it attacked the catamarans? Catamarans, yeah.
Well, it had a jolt. I mean, the jolt was real, but look, they tried not to put us in danger. Tried. We were mostly not in danger. I mean, really, except for those sharks circling the catamarans, sometimes the real sharks. But within the crevassier, it kind of made it better.
There you go. It makes everything better.
I guess. Oh, that's a shot of me working with Jack Benny.
Yes, that's what I wanted to show everybody. This is great. Look at that.
So what was, he's old time. I mean, he's royalty in Hollywood still.
Oh my God. My dad, I remember my parents, my dad especially, was walking on air because he was so into the whole Rat Pack, everything. So yeah, that was fun. And then I got to do that show with him, that live special.
My friend Victor Rogers is a huge fan, and he's sort of in the doghouse with his wife and isn't allowed to watch tonight. Aw.
Woohoo!
That's Jordan Bienkowski. Jordan, tell him to watch the.
Luckily, you can watch the rerun.
That's right. Watch the reruns.
You're funny. You're so cute. Boo-hoo. You're killing me, Gigi. You got a great delivery.
Oh, thank
you. Unbelievable.
So let's touch on your books.
Okay. Yes, the books.
Well, after acting for several years and then starting to write a little for TV, I wrote a couple movies, and I teamed up with Deborah Hill, a producer writer who wrote
from Halloween, Deborah Hill. Okay.
So we wrote some movies together for a few years and got a couple made, and then I'm not sure how I got married, I had some kids, I wasn't working so much, but I was looping. I think Gary Springer told you about the Loop group.
Mm-hmm.
That Carl Gottlieb and Verna Fields, Carl Gottlieb's wife, Allison Fields, kind of started. We did Friends movies at first, and there were a lot of really great actors in this Loop group. I mean, Renee Aubergenois, Ed Begley Jr., lots of the cast from Saturday Night and from Second City and The Committee.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, that's what carried me through. But then I kind of missed writing, and my husband wanted to write he's a memory and aging expert, a geriatric psychiatrist. He wanted to write a memory book based on the training, the research he'd done and all that. And I said, great, but who's going to write it? Because, anyway, he asked me to ghostwrite.
Yes.
No, that's not true. He asked me to write it with him, which I did. And then I didn't take credit on it because we wanted to brand him as a doctor writer. And I think that's him saying, shut up. No. Anyway, actually, that book, The Memory Bible, we just did a revision, Memory Bible Revised, and with my name on it this time, and it's coming out in the spring. Mm-hmm. But we started writing, so we started with that book, and that became a New York Times bestseller. And we kind of rode the wave till now. 12 books later, we're actually working on our 13th book.
Well, that's such an important subject to tackle. That's my biggest fear. Somebody that's creative, that one day I won't remember something, or I won't be able to recognize somebody. So that's very important. Hats off to both of you.
Thank you. But not all the books are about that, even though they look like it. There's one of our books called The Other Side of the Couch, is a collection of stories about Gary's most bizarre cases as a psychiatrist. That one was fun. There's one, Other Side of the Couch. And then there's iBrain, which is about how technology is affecting our brains and, basically surviving a technological, revolution. And what else you got there?
We also have the 8 essential strategies for keeping your mind. I would like to read that one. That was a longevity.
Oh, you had Snap up there. That's the personality book.
That's a good.
That has a lot of interesting studies in it about personality and how you can actually change yours.
Really, I like that. Oh my God, I gotta.
Because everybody thinks personality is set in stone, it's genetic, it starts, but there's actually things you can do, which I found fascinating researching the book.
Have you ever met someone that they needed that book? You say, "Here, read this."
Well, unfortunately, when you give people that book, they're like, "Well, up here." So mostly, if you ever find one that we've inscribed, it usually says, "Don't worry, you're fine. Enjoy the book. Don't worry, it's not your personality, it's me."
It's me. It's not you. It's me.
It's Snap. It's Snap. 30 days to change your personality.
That was our publisher's idea. Change it in a snap.
Okay, we got. Was there any deleted scenes with your character Brooke that you can recall that didn't make the final cut?
Well, there's me singing the theme at the opening. No, I'm kidding. You know what? I'm sure there were tons. There were tons, I'm sure, but
can't think of it.
Years.
There you go. My personality change.
Let's see.
That's funny.
That's margaritas.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's see.
How do you know what I got in my cup? I could be vodka.
All right.
Robert McGinn wants to know, has a question. I'm sorry, this is for Jay. Do people tell you that you look like Ann Dusenberry?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
A little bit.
A little bit. Got the hair.
She's so beautiful.
We'll have to have Ann on, or you guys can just be side by side and see if people confuse you.
I like how, again, Rosie, every week, right? He comes on and he says hello and goodbye.
He's in Brazil.
Yeah.
He's in Brazil, so he comes in and goes. Let's see.
That's what we heard. That's what we heard.
Jane said that my personality changes with summer mimosas.
Yeah, we saw that one. Like we said, we held up our cups and toasted.
Yeah, we toasted.
Nate, she filmed in Florida.
Why is it saying sorry if you're unable to see my questions? There were so many.
We can see that. We can see that.
Yeah, Robert, I asked Jay the Ann Dusenberry question.
Okay, Chris Webster. Is that him? I don't know. I want to make sure I get everybody here.
Come on, Chris. You're on.
That was Barnaby commenting to Chris Webster. Yeah, Robert, your question was one of Jay was, do she look like Ann Dusenberry?
Did Roy Scheider spend more time in Florida or the Vineyard? Oh, Nate Jones wants to know if you like Florida or the Martha's Vineyard. That's a good question.
Well, I actually shot mostly in Florida.
Okay.
And in fact, Jaws 2, they only shot exteriors in Martha's Vineyard for a few weeks. And
have you gone back to the island at all, Gigi? It's pretty beautiful there.
Martha's Vineyard?
Yeah.
I love Martha's Vineyard. Jeffrey Kramer has a house there. His family is from there.
Well, do you know how
Tom's
still there? That's how Jeff got the job. His mother saw the casting notice and wrote the casting agent, Sherry Rhodes, a letter and said, if you cast my son, you won't have to put him up in a hotel. He can stay with me.
What?
Done. Save that per diem.
Bye-bye.
If you buy a trailer, you get a lot of work if you don't.
Let's see. Just
You're killing me over here. I'm dying. Oh, how was it working with Jim with Belushi and Schwarzenegger? That's what I want to know.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a very charming man.
See?
And Belushi's very fun and funny, and there were a lot of laughs on that film.
Well, I've always said they make a life story of my life story. Jim Belushi plays me, so I'm glad to hear he was fun.
I could see that, and he was fun and funny, and I don't know, we had a good time. Walter Hill directed that, and a couple of the details I remember. Arnold was in charge of the lunch. I mean, he had to approve everything that everybody ate.
Really?
Basically, if you didn't want him mad at you, you had to eat it in a certain order. Like the kiwi has to come at the end.
What?
You have to start with this thing and go on to the chicken, but only 4 ounces. And I mean, it was very strict, and he was very health conscious, and everybody wants to please Arnold.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. But Jim Belushi is a good guy. He seems like he'd be really
funny. He's funny.
Yeah.
He's, and it was early in his career, I think. He hadn't done that many movies, I don't think, before that. I'm not sure.
Just a few years after Terminator, yeah. So.
No, I'm not talking about Arnold. I'm talking about Jim.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, he had done
did a ton
like Trading Places and just kind of was starting out, like The Principal and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, all of those were good movies, which I really enjoyed.
Yes, people think you look like Carole King.
Kane.
Yeah.
King.
Donna
Carole King.
Was in Edgartown. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Jump scare. Oh, it scared me more than the first film. Which one? Which jump? Oh, wait, they're not on.
Yeah. Go ahead and type Robert, what was the jump scare? Kevin, she answered that earlier in the show. If you watch the repeat or the rebroadcast, your question will be answered.
All questions will be answered.
All questions will be answered.
Oh my God, this one right here, Gigi, look at that is a good one. Bernadette Peters.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful.
Thank you.
Carole King. I was like, not Carole King, Carole King. Carole King. You also wrote I was looking this up the other day. You wrote this movie, and Shannon Doherty starred in that.
Yes, actually that's one of the films I wrote with Deborah Hill.
Yeah, if you guys ever get to see this movie, you got to watch it. I just watched it the other day. It was really good.
There was a series of films that Deborah produced with a couple of partners that they were all remakes of Harvey Korman's old teenage angst movies.
Yeah.
So we wrote Confessions of a Sorority Girl, and we wrote Jailbreakers.
Jailbreakers too. Yeah, Jailbreakers.
That was a fun one.
As a writer, I'm sure you would either watch the film or visited the set. Did they change anything in the script that you didn't know about? And then you're going, that's not what I wanted in this.
That happens. My experience on the set of this one in particular was great. I was pregnant very pregnant at the time. And I was on the set, and the director was saying, wait, I need a different line here. And I was there, scribbling lines and handing them on pieces of paper. And then they say them and shoot it. And that was quite an experience.
That's kind of fun, kind of writing as you go.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And I can't remember. I think it was the Sorority Girls one.
Mm-hmm.
But we had big directors on those. Billy Friedkin did one.
Wow.
And Uli Edel did the other. I don't know if you know who that director was. He did very interesting movies.
Okay.
I had the opportunity to work with a lot of really great people. And in my looping, the voiceovers, I think I probably did at least 200 movies.
Wow.
What does that incur? Is that like just like being background noise, or do you dub people, or?
Yeah, I mean, we're improvisers, so that you have a group of improvisers. We go in a ADR studio. That's a recording studio where actors go in and dub their lines. If words are not clear, there's a way you do it, and you hear beep beep beep, and then you put the line. Anyway, as improvisers, we would watch the scene, this movie, reel by reel, and whatever's needed vocally, we would add. For instance, if there was a TV on behind me and there was a newscast, we would improvise a newscast that would fit in the mouths of those extras or those actors. I revoiced actors, their whole roles a couple of times. I'm not going to say who. But, if kids are running by, or if there's another table in a restaurant and that person's talking, you basically add whatever, the white zone is for loading and unloading only.
Okay.
We did, I remember on the movie Airplane, we did all, I don't know if you recall that movie, but.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
We were just talking about it. All lined up and slapping that little girl.
Yes.
We did all that.
Oh, wow.
The stuff that you didn't see on camera. Like if you were behind people's heads, we added a lot of that. So basically, it was like a director's last chance to add some character or life or jokes, or you can kind of add a little texture to your movie vocally at the end. And it became, I think Gary mentioned this, before this kind of loop group we created, they used tapes. You'd have party noise, or that's how background, if you watch movies, you'll see the background noise is kind of generic. But this now looping is done on every movie. It's a regular part of ADR, of post-production.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh. This is a question for you.
I was in that movie, Speeding.
Wow.
That was a AFI, American Film Institute student film. That's hard to find.
I love this picture of you right here. That's great. Look at that.
Yeah, it's me and Bruce.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing.
All right. So let's see. Trying to think. We have any other quick questions before we wrap up? Anybody?
That's been fun. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, look at that. We love having you on. You were dry since
I had a ball.
Quick
questions coming in.
Let's do it in 40 more years.
There you go. Quick happy birthday to Richard Dreyfuss and Martha Swatek. I talked to Martha today. She just said to tell you hello.
I love her. When you talk to her again, please say hello for me.
I sure will.
Jay, I thought I had a picture of her. Yeah.
Oh. Yes. Jay, do you want to reveal next week's guest?
His last name is Dukakis, and his first name is
John Dukakis.
Glad.
How appropriate for election week. We'll have a Dukakis on the show. Gigi, thank you so much.
Yeah, this is great.
You're welcome. Okay,
I want to make sure I got all of you.
Okay, right. Thank you very much. Have a
good night.
Come on. Thank you so much. Bye.
Ciao.
Oh, how nice. My God, she's so nice. Oh my God.
Isn't she? Love her.
She was awesome. We got to a lot of the questions. She actually answered a lot of Jaws 2 questions, a lot more this time than we got to before. But I was while you were saying that, I was trying to pull up Martha's picture that you'd sent me earlier.
Oh.
And so that was another thing that I was trying to do, because I was doing a million things. But I have it right here. I'm going to share the screen too with it. So you know her as
Marge.
Yay, there she is. There she is, Marge. Martha.
There she is. Happy birthday to you.
Birthday. Happy birthday. Bye. Oh, she was such a great guest, wasn't she, Michael? Oh my God.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Was awesome. That was awesome. Well,
Hey,
there's Jimmy hiding. Jimmy's
Hi,
hiding
Jimmy.
in the back.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Tell everybody if they don't know who John Dukakis is, because there were some people that asked me earlier, who the heck is John Dukakis? And I'm like, oh, well, I'll have Michael explain that to you because he's the guru of Jaws 2. And
John Dukakis is one of the characters in Jaws 2. He is the one who, along with Tom Dunlop, pulled Mike Brody out of the water when the shark goes along goes on the side of the boat.
Yep.
He is the son of the former presidential candidate Michael Dukakis. His first cousin is Olympia Dukakis.
Yep.
And not only was he an actor, but what I'm more interested in also besides this to hear, he ran Prince's music company for many years. So maybe we'll get some good Prince gossip.
Oh my God, Michael. That's awesome.
And as I think David said, his grandfather conducted the Boston Pops.
Oh,
or the Boston Symphony Orchestra, yeah.
Wow. So. Wait, I was going to pull up a picture of him because I have one right here. So you'll remember him when we pick him up. He's right here. Then he's coming up right now. Here he is.
He is, I believe his name's Polo.
Mm-hmm.
What an unusual name. Maybe because he's wearing polo shirts. I don't know. But there he is. Good looking kid.
Yes, he is. Another amazing guest. Yes, we did. Thank you, Rogerio. Thanks for coming back on. As a new member, we have a question. Have you done this with Martha? No, we haven't yet.
I have asked Martha. She's not reluctant, but she kind of likes to sit back and enjoy her fandom from afar. She did join us, I think, when Gary was on.
Yeah,
she was on. She was here for a while. She was watching. But we've reached out to some of we have other cast members that we're trying to get before we go into the Jaws 3 portion of the series, which I'm sure Victor will be watching with bated breath. We can't put up any of his comments. Let the screen his comments.
No, I did a couple of them. I couldn't put up his Jaws 2 his Jaws 3 bashing. I'm like, don't do that. My buddy Joe Alves is gonna come on here.
That's right.
Oh no, please do. Always.
Oh, please do.
Oh, look at Donna. Of course she did. Of course she did, Mike. Look at that one. Of course she did.
There you go.
Yeah, Ann Duesenberry. Yeah, yeah. We're looking at
that. I've got requests out for both of them. Ann is working on a play that she's writing. Donna is promoting a film that she produced, but also reached out. Pretty much, if you're an Amity kid, I've contacted you. So we're just waiting to hear. They all have jobs like the rest of us, and some are more busy than others. I'm happy, so happy Gary squeezed us in since he's in Egypt now. So
yeah. Is this who I think it is?
Paul, is he Paul?
Yeah,
Polo. Okay, there you go. Yeah, Polo.
Yeah,
okay.
He knows his Jaws too. Keith Gordon, another one. Yeah, we'll have to get that. I can't. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I'm working on Keith. Keith is a very successful television director, so he needs to be able to find time to sit down. He would be a great interview, though. So
I can't wait, Michael. You know what I'm going to ask him? I'm going to go tell us about the Triple Indy.
That's right. Can you still do it? Can you still do it?
And then everybody forgets that Robert Downey Jr. was his friend. Remember with the horn?
With the horn, yeah.
That was a riot.
That was a great movie.
Let's see. Love Keith Gordon. Any of you know what happened to the one that played Michael Brody in Jaws 2? Yes.
Mark Gruner is living in California. He's unusual, to say the least. Luckily, when I first talked to him, I was recording him, so I had a lot of. Thank you, Connor.
That's very nice. Thank you.
Thank you. He told some good stories, which I were able to use in the book. And then he called me very mysteriously one night, like at 2 a.m. my time, to ask me to check out something that had happened in Destin, and then call him later. And then I was going to meet with him again out in California, but I couldn't tell anybody I was meeting with him. And then he never showed up.
So a secret squirrel, huh?
Yeah,
He was like a secret squirrel, 007.
Yeah, 007, a secret squirrel. Wow, good reference. But
you get it,
all
Mike.
I know, most I know about Mark Gruner is his best friend is Chris Knight from the Brady Bunch. Like I said, I've reached out to him as well, but he spends his days climbing rocks and sailing his boat.
Yeah. Thank you again. Oh, you're welcome, Chief Gordon.
Thank you, Victor.
But where was Chief? Wait a minute, a couple more. That was on AMC the other night. Where was Chief Brody? What do you find speedboat driver? What does that say?
But it was the one where Chief Brody finds the speedboat driver's boat. Yeah, that's Jaws 2.
Oh, okay. Oh, Christine. Yeah, that was
Christine. Good film. Good film. Yeah, all that jazz and Back to School. Jazz, Christine. Yeah. He's probably the most successful of all the Jaws 2 kids, acting wise.
We did earlier. I put it up there. The jump scare.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I thought so. I want to make sure I'm going back to the comments because it was so many coming on. I was trying to put them on there. Oh wait.
Tina, Mrs. White.
I think it's, you know what? No one ever says that. I think it's the way I'm wearing my hair right now. That's why I don't look anything like Ann Dusenberry is beautiful, but that's a compliment. But I was trying to ignore it because I didn't want to take the attention off Gigi because it's her show, you know, and that's why I didn't bother with it. But thank you guys. That was a nice compliment. I didn't get to put that one down there. Oh, you did, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's it, Mike. I mean, we're going to make sure we got everybody's questions on there. Thanks again for coming on, guys. This was a great show tonight. Finally got some of the media fixed. We were having problems with that. God, Lord, that was taking forever, Michael. That stole my life for 2 weeks. My life.
Kevin, Lorraine Gary is very reclusive now since her husband died.
Oh, I wish.
She doesn't do appearances. I've known people that have offered her tens of thousands of dollars just to come to a celebrity show and sign. She's just, happy with her family. I'd love to have her, but she does talk. If you've not trying to sell books, but if you read the Jaws 2 book, she does share some memories. So
yeah.
Did you see Jaws 2 at the movie, James? Yes, I did. My group of friends, we were intent on being the first people to buy tickets. And we got to the theater at 10 o'clock for the noon show. And there was some geek, some Jaws geek standing there already. So we bought his tickets so we could say we bought the first tickets.
Because Michael has to be first.
That's right.
First.
And we also stayed and saw Jaws 2, all 5 shows.
About Sid Sheinberg, yeah. So you just answered, okay. Okay, well, we had a great night, folks. We're gonna cut it.
Thank you again, everybody.
Have a good night, guys. Thanks again for coming in. Coming next Thursday, John Dukakis is gonna be here. Thank you, Gigi Vorgan. You are gorgeous. I really had a blast with her. She's so funny. Have a good night, folks. See you next Thursday.
My first movie star crush. That hug was worth waiting for.
His first crush.
Hi, everybody. Fins up.
What's up, guys?
Fins up. I like that. Good night.